Ah, je suis américain, alors. Oui.
C'est ça qui est le plus important.
So we have a bed with a mosquito net, so that's quite important. Television. We're gonna take odds on that working. Probably low. A chair. Actually, the nice chairs. I like the exterior decoration because you have a wonderful view of the rubble. Beautiful, beautiful sight. Enjoying my first few minutes walking around here. Feeling very relaxed. It's also Ramadan, of course. It's the first day of fasting, so a lot of things are closed, but also just fun walking around. Beautiful French colonial architecture, and a mix between that and kind of the mainland, which is much more like typical Senegalese, at least from what I saw on the Place here, which I didn't really record much of, but that was an interesting ride. Very interesting. Behind me, Senegal River. Which came first, the river or the country? I have no idea. Probably the river. I don't know why. This feels like a very relaxed city. I mean, like, I'm here, not really that many people in sight, so, actual camera angle. Apparently this is a fishing village. Awfully lot of traffic for a fishing village. Very cool. I didn't record a lot. A lot of it feels like people's homes, so pretty rude to do that. But this is a little monument, and very cool walking around here. I mean, of course, unsteady steps. Very fun walk so far. See the canoes. I mean, lots of small holder fishers in the Senegal River. Yeah, so if I continue walking up north there for like 30 minutes, I would reach the unguarded Mauritanian border. And maybe it's guarded, I don't know. I'm not gonna find out. Not gonna find out. But that is a little peninsula that is connected to mainland Africa only through Mauritania. This is the island, and then there's another bridge, which I crossed by earlier, which connects it to mainland Senegal. Whereas the gare routière is, and the guy had to help me by calling every taxi. I'm gonna just do a 1K run, probably, to make my Strava look good. I mean, I love the unsolicited Strava posts in interesting places. And somehow they're always on a river, or ocean. This time will be a river. It seemed like the only restaurants open were kind of extraordinarily tourist serving places, so I decided to take a cue from people I was seeing and got some baguettes, seemingly meant to break a tar. That last clip was interrupted by someone who was trying to get my attention so I could show his friend that I was holding this bread. So apparently the intention worked. New day, new me. Here with my older bread from the bakery yesterday. I only left one, representing Yukon. Don't know why. But yeah, we're going to go to the Djoudj Bird Park. That's going to be very entertaining. I did mildly well in a high school ornithology competition, so despite not actually knowing anything about birds, it's part of my personality. So we have to see those birds if we want to. Huh, fun. There's a mosquito on the mosquito net. It seems to work. You probably can't see that.
Et là, regardez, là, on a des estaches blanches et des richets.
So apparently these are used almost as bowls. You can just cut these fruits open, and you can see the shape is pretty perfect.
Et la maman encore, c'est deux femelles. Regardez.
Sont mignons.
7 portées, 7.
7 portées.
Il peut avoir 7 petits.
Kind of reminds me of Houston, Texas.
Sénégal, Ghana, des rencontres respectivement
I mean, I thought I was being paranoid when I was buying my Ramadan snack stockpile in the US. No, this is being pretty useful. This has traveled way too long, and for such bad food, I don't think it's a good idea. I probably should have chosen better, but it is better than being surrounded by French retirees, in my opinion. So, here we are. The bird park was exceptional, ridiculously fun to see some of the things I learned about ornithology flying around. Back on the streets, when I try to go to the Institut Français, they generally have decent amenities, or libraries, things like that. Yeah, interesting thing. Also very high security, because of, I mean, the controversy of France-Afrique and all that. Kind of interesting dynamics there. Beautiful news here. Long walk to get there, but plenty around. Apparently one of the favorite candidates for the Senegalese presidential election in 2 weeks is speaking here in Saint Louis. Interesting. Probably not the best place to hang around too long, but I may have to shake a hand. I don't know who it is. I believe it's the ruling party's candidate, who was more popular than he is now because it's sacked as PM. Interesting stuff. Won't comment much further. Today's episode of Walking in the Night in Unfamiliar Places. What is today? A logistics day. Probably going to Podor. So, we have to go to the set class. Senegal is an early country. Like 7 a.m. is when you have to be there. And so it's 6:30. I'm eating these little donuts. One of these costs 8 cents. I like this place. But we're going to see about set class. It's probably going to be just a very rundown car. And I'm going to be in it for 4 hours. And then it's supposed to be 104 degrees, or like 30, 35 in actual units. Unfortunately, I couldn't film a ton of that. This is delightful. So, to go from Saint Louis to Podor, apparently the set class didn't actually go to Podor. It stopped in a different town in Diom, I believe. So, I got off at a town without a name on Google Maps. This is real rurality. Have to ask around for a private car. I only have 5,000 francs. They need 3,500. They give back the change. I was not particularly expecting that. And we got there. The little town was beautiful, but I really did not have time to go around strolling. But, I mean, if you're ever in Tareji, it's a nice place, and you can trust the people in the garage there. So we're going to probably eat. Yeah, it's pretty rare to be able to do that, so stocking up the calories when I can, and we'll see from there. And right there in the distance is Mauritania. Very close. No idea why Podor has both garbage cans and functional sidewalks. Dakar could learn something, actually. This is ridiculously nice so far. Way too warm, like 38 degrees. But very nice so far. Almost. It's easily the most relaxed place I've been. So, kind of nice to relax after so much chaos getting here. Just gonna wander around for 6 hours and then sleep. That's kind of the plan. Because tomorrow is gonna be like an 8-hour set class, and that will be bad for my knees. So. I've got to say, so far, this is my kind of place. First place I feel very little inhibition about recording, and I mean, partially no one's here, but the people who are here, and extraordinarily friendly. This is a majority Fula town, full day. It's actually a language I studied a bit of, not much, and I don't understand the dialect here. This is Toro, but there are different areas. And so it's a group that spans from all the way to Podor and Guinea, here, Ivory Coast, even to some Sudan. So very big. Again, it's continuing. How does this have the best sidewalks of any town in Senegal I've seen? It's actually ridiculous. There's a big passenger boat that goes down the Senegal River. There it is. Seems to be disembarking. This goat is following me. Don't really love that. In this beautiful historic building, just hanging out here. I'm not sure if it's afraid of me or if I'm afraid of it. Kind of pathetic getting stopped by a goat from exploring to building. Apparently I made a great joke as well, so we'll see. Shockingly outsmarted the goat. We're here. Podor obviously deeply cares about maintenance of historic sites. Oh, it's the little goats. They tried to stop me. They were unable to. Literally unstoppable here. The old fort is closed at like 3 p.m. Well, we'll see. We have no idea. We don't know. We're also going a bit crazy because it's hot as hell. And I don't have water. Because it is the time when drinking water in public is quite rude. But made some friends in a restaurant. They thought it was funny. I mean, I'm not sure in what way. But they'll take appreciation. Even if it's at my expense. So yeah, we're just gonna, hang out with these goats over here. That's all I'm doing. And there are not many people on the road. Everyone's sitting in the shade. Lying down in the shade, swimming in the river, and I'm the only idiot not joining them. But we'll keep walking around, getting a great scenery of Senegal's northernmost town, Toro, coming from there. We're also rocking the new style. Makes me the clown of Podor. People have now started talking to me more in Wolof and / Polar. We're rolling with it. Walking directly into the sunlight here. There's also very loud campaign music. More hotels will just speak. No, this is no one's favorite part, but here we are. So, I have to get up at 5 a.m., walk to a bus station, which probably has reserved a spot for me. Very likely. The person on the phone said it was. Was that information communicated anywhere else? We'll see. I'm enjoying this croissant. Very good croissant. Like 500 CFA per croissant. Good croissant. I'm enjoying the croissant much more than I'm enjoying worrying about getting back to kids. Nice thing is, worst case scenario, we can stay another day here. It would be non-ideal. I would be able to at least buy a dumb dick back to the bus company. Formally, if so. So I'm getting back to Dakar somehow, but hopefully that way is at 5 in the morning, like tired out of my mind, on an 8-hour bus ride, get a test 1, and have like 2 days in the suburb of Dakar, which is also not ideal, but it is a city, so hopefully we'll have things open, because this does not. And so I have been walking around the same streets and talking to people. It's very fun. For one day. I think as soon as I actually become a local celebrity, it will be less fun and start just saying ça va 50 times. It would just be practicing the French phrase ça va. Mbada and Jamton are how are you and I am well in Fula, which I now know. You can hear the culture from 2 different countries at once. Very fun. I mean, this is tenuous logistics. If this bus gets to Dakar, we're fine. So this is a tree where routers are growing on. Early rising country. Breakfast at 5 a.m. I respect it. I am not that person. I am here. I'm getting up at like 6 a.m. every day. Great for my sleep schedule. Like, if you are an afternoon waker upper, come to Senegal. It will completely and utterly get you out of that habit. The wonderful noises of a campaign event. What's going on over there? Hello from 5 a.m. Breakfast is ready. Haven't seen other people though. For all the scared viewers out there, the reason I pick Senegal is it has like the lowest crime rate. It has less murders than Houston, which is why I feel comfortable walking around when this is like the darkest night sky I've ever seen. But we're going to be doing that. I'm not sure I have a place on the bus, but I will know very quickly. So, that's nice. To those wondering as well, West African culture, coffee culture is not really transmitted here. The type of coffee you'll always see is a Nescafe. I'm gonna focus more on the stars and not the barking dogs. It is a lovely village. And the one person who passed by just said hi. You can hear the dogs fighting from like 5 blocks away. Absolute silence. On the bus, we're passing by Podor again. My favorite town in the world. Well, we wanted to go to Luga and bus up there. And Luga. To just rest my feet a bit. My Mauritanian bus friend gave me whatever these are. Fire. I'm so grateful to that person. One of the closest friends I've ever made, and we could hardly communicate. And we also knew each other for like 2 hours. Amazing man. I'm a big city person. I like Colombo. I love Dakar. Like, I like Saint Louis. I like Podor a lot. But really, give me the big city. Just wandering around. We're done. Very nice. It's June up here as well, so mosques are literally overflowing onto the streets. Very interesting to see. Beautiful temperate morning here. During the last day. This city's atmosphere is absolutely impeccable. And things are open, so that's great too. Even coffee shops that are not closed for Ramadan close at 8:30 a.m. Who would want coffee then? Way too early. I would. Walking by the Central Bank of West Africa, which is of course not extraordinarily controversial. Definitely not a neo-colonialist institution. It's sarcasm. We don't like it. The CFA franc is largely controlled by France. It's pegged to euro. It doesn't let people have their own monetary policy, which is bad if you're trying to develop. Also, a sad fact about Senegal is that there is this province of talibés, which are little children begging. There are over like 100,000 forced by Quranic schools basically to beg. I mean, there are actual Quranic schools, but these are more fraudulent. Parents don't know what they're signing the kids up to. Basically, kind of forced child slavery. A lot of the food areas of Dakar are around the coastline. It's really gorgeous. I don't know how that's not better known. Because, I mean, Google Maps had a very funny looking internet cafe called Casa de Gamer that I wanted to take a picture of just to laugh at. It's not here. I think it's gone. Sad. I love the smoke detector. Why even bother at that point? Also, in the off chance that I have Senegalese viewership on this, why is brunch such a thing? Like half the restaurants I'm looking at are brunch places. It's not that good of a concept. Abandon it. Liberate yourself from brunch. Change money, probably on my second to last walk here. We'll probably get dinner in the city too, but just getting some baked goods. In the meantime. And that is the local mosque for the street. I think nothing else I'm going to say is going to be of any interest to you all. I highly enjoyed this. I came here to understand how French colonialism negatively affected my country, how it's trying to put itself back up on its feet through revitalization, I mean, it's a very active country. The democracy is very safeguarded. Understanding full culture, roll-off culture. I think I succeeded. Hopefully you enjoyed being here as much as I enjoyed the really tenuous logistics to get here. So, from the Potsdam Mittons.